It is time now for our live Q&A. You guys know the drill by now. Use hashtag NBA to get your questions on the show. That makes it a heck of a lot easier for producer Dylan to find your NBA trade deadline questions. And as I've seen already, a whole bunch of trade packages as well. So we begin with Chris Jones, Harrison, and I'll put this through a trade machine, make sure the money works. Lakers trade Kuzma, Cook Daniels for Derrick Rose and Markieff Morris. I'm very confident that does not work out.
Yeah, that's too much money.
I don't need to plug that in. That does not work.
Yeah, that does not work. I don't think it even works just for one of these guys. Maybe for Rose, actually. He's on a pretty cheap contract, $7.5 million. Here's the thing with D. Rose and the Lakers. I think he's a perfect fit, but the Pistons not only want a first-round pick, they want a lottery pick. Lakers don't have a first-round pick.
It's always funny to me when bad teams are like, yes, we want a lottery pick. Like, dudes, the teams trading for you don't have lottery picks.
Well, and not only that, keep in mind, though, if they're asking for a lottery pick, that likely means they'll settle for any first-round pick.
Yeah.
Lakers don't have it. I think that's a tricky thing. I think Derrick Rose is an ideal point guard, backup point guard for the Lakers. I just don't see it happening in the end.
All right, Kevin Otto says the 76ers trade Al Horford to the Blazers for CJ McCollum.
This is an interesting one. I haven't seen a lot surrounding either of these teams. I'm so surprised the Sixers trade rumors haven't been more because they've clearly missed J.J. Redick's shooting, which C.J. McCollum would be a great fit there. I don't really know why the Blazers do this. I know there's this idea of splitting up Dame and McCollum because they're not a good defensive backcourt, but this is not the trade you do it
Doing
for.
it for Horford?
Horford's older. They don't really, yeah, they could use a big, but, if he was 5 years younger maybe, I don't like this trade for them. They'd have to get a pick as well.
I'll get to some more questions here. Kings Ent wants to know if the Charlotte Hornets will make any moves.
Maybe they sell low. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, I've seen the Mavericks are interested in him as a low buy there to get an extra wing defender there. I'll say this about the Charlotte Hornets. They're a lot better than we thought. When we did after free agency last year when they paid Scary Terry all that money, we were like, this is the worst team in the NBA. They've been better than that. They still aren't anywhere close to winning. I would expect a pretty quiet deadline from Charlotte.
All right, the Sports Influencer wants to know if Luka Doncic is a top MVP candidate. I'd feel better about him, Harrison, if he wasn't hurt again.
Yeah, he missed 4 games earlier in the year. He's going to miss at least 6 during this current stretch. He's already missed a couple. I don't think he's 1B anymore. I think for a while it was kind of Giannis, Harden, and Luka, kind of that 3-man race. I think he's more of a second-tier candidate. I think he's somewhere in the top 5. Throw AD and LeBron in there, mostly LeBron probably. I don't think he'll win it this year, but I'm pretty confident in saying in the future he's got an MVP in his future, no doubt.
Yeah, and he's certainly an MVP caliber player. Just the injuries might cost him
20.
this season.
It's his second year in the NBA.
He'll win an MVP.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Jeff Rogers, are the Celtics looking to trade Gordon Hayward?
I don't think they're actively looking to trade him for 2 reasons. One, Brad Stevens likes him a lot. He coached him at Butler. Gordon Hayward has value on that team, regardless of what you guys think of his contract. And B, speaking of that contract, what are you really getting for him? It makes more sense to just keep him and have his production than just to try and get rid of his salary and have to throw a pick in there as well. I do not believe he will get traded. He's more of an off-season trade candidate.
Yeah.
I could see that happening, kind of like Kevin Love with Cleveland, because that contract's tough as well, but I don't expect Hayward to get moved before the deadline.
I'm thinking Jeff is a Celtics fan. I might be wrong on that, but if I am, let me know in the comments. Everyone shout out your favorite NBA team. Let us know who it is. Harrison, who's your favorite
real
team?
quick, secret. So Tom's favorite team is whoever he likes playing with 2K at the time. So last year,
still Denver right
last
now.
year it's still the Nuggets. Okay.
Dude, Jamal Murray's awesome in that game.
I'm a Mavericks fan, as is our guy Jimmy Crowther, who does a lot of our Mavericks coverage here on Chat Sports. So make sure you subscribe. Lots of Mavs videos up on the channel. I'm a Mavericks fan. We'll get some shout-outs here. We got the Blazers, Mavs, Lakers, several Mavs in there, by the way.
Celtics.
Celtics, Timberwolves, Raptors, Jazz, Pacers, Mavericks, Lakers, Jazz, LA Clippers. A lot of teams coming in. Keep those comments coming in. Shout out your favorite team as we're live here on Chat Sports.
Indeed, and we're going to have a whole bunch of NBA coverage for you guys. That's trade rumors. That's all the trades that go down. That's Q&A here. So if whatever your favorite NBA team is, we're probably going to talk about them at some point during our live trade deadline show. So if you want that, hit that big red button. See the link as well. Subscribe to us on Chat Sports. As we get back now to the Q&A from Why Not?
Is this Russell Westbrook? That's his go-to phrase. Why not?
Do the Warriors think about trading DeAngelo Russell only in the summer?
DeAngelo Russell and the Warriors is interesting. They have all the leverage because he's in the first year of a 4-year max contract, $117 million. A couple of reasons. One, he's played really well this year as the primary guy, so his trade value is really high. I think if they got overwhelmed with an offer, they would certainly be willing to take it. I don't think they're actively looking to trade him, though. They're taking calls, but they're not going to trade him for the sake of trading him. They have no problem bringing him back once Steph and Clay are healthy next season.
All right, Mason wants to know if Clint Capela will be traded.
I'll put it at about 30%.
Okay.
The Rockets are certainly interested in moving him. That much has become clear. They would like to move him to the Eastern Conference. They don't want to face him in the West.
Which, to me, means maybe you shouldn't trade this player away.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like saying, okay, we're willing to move him, but we're cutting off half the league. I know Sacramento's Western Conference team, they've expressed some interest, which I don't really know why. I mean, you add a center to that young core. Maybe the Rockets can get a shooter for him or something like that. But those are a few teams that are interested and could be possible destinations. The Miami Heat are a dark horse there. They've been looking to add talent around Jimmy Butler, so we'll see if they can make a move for him. I think when it's said and done, he stays with the Rockets, though.
Devo wants to know if the Hawks will trade for a superstar to help out Trey Young.
They want to. I mean,
easier said than done.
They've been connected to every center on the market. Andre Drummond, Capela, Steven Adams, Dwayne Dedmon, several guys. And I think it's twofold because you're thinking, why would they try and add talent when they're not in a winning situation? Well, if you continue to be this bad, Trey Young's going to want to leave. That's the challenge you face when you have a young superstar and you're a struggling team. Like the Mavericks, they recognized it last year. They went out and got Kristaps Porzingis. They don't want to lose Luka Doncic. So I think that's kind of what the Hawks are looking at with Trey Young. They got to get this guy some help.
Jay Carroll wants to know if the Lakers are going to end up trading Kyle Kuzma.
Man, the Kuzma thing is interesting because I think he's a promising young talent, but he doesn't really fit what they're trying to do right now. Mm-hmm. They could benefit from another three-point shooter. That's why they countered with the Sacramento Kings, who gave them a trade offer for Kuzma, but they want Bogdan Bogdanovic in that trade. The Kings did not offer him as part of that package last time. I think that if Sacramento comes up to Bogdanovic, that trade is very much in play.
All right, next up from Alex Johansson, who should the Rockets trade for?
I mean, we know they're looking to add another wing player, a 3-and-D type, and they're willing to move Clint Capela to do so, assuming that they get a center in return as well. Another shooter like Covington? I mean, I think Robert Covington would fit great there. Do they have the package to put something together for Robert Covington? I'm not sure. You'd probably have to cut ties with P.J. Tucker. I do think at this point Covington's an upgrade. Is that enough of an upgrade, though, to make a significant run? Exactly. I'm not so sure.
All right, so we're two players who are not going to be traded, but I think this is a fun discussion. Pick one player right now. Who's the better player? Type H for James Harden, because I know we had a lot of Houston discussion earlier, or G for Giannis. No last name needed whatsoever.
It's Giannis.
Okay, that was a very quick answer there.
It's Giannis.
The first comment said H, though.
Here's the thing, especially if you're talking literally right now, I don't know how much you've been keeping track the last 4 to 6 weeks. Russell Westbrook has become the Rockets' best player. It's very strange. Harden has struggled the last month. Westbrook has put up better numbers. He stopped taking threes finally. I think D'Antoni was like, stop taking threes. We got other three-point shooters. And he's been great. He's shooting 52% from the floor the last month, Russell Westbrook is. He's not turning the ball over as much. Harden's great, and he's a little banged up right now, but Giannis is the more complete player.
I agree with Giannis. I am a little bit surprised here that there were so many H's in the comment section.
I think it's because Harden is the more, flashy player. He scores more. He does the step-back threes and all that. Giannis is stuck in Milwaukee, so no one watches him because they're never on TV. I think that's some of that in play as well.
All right, some Facebook questions coming in as well. We are live on both right now. Do you see the Bucks trading for anyone?
Now, I did see that today they are among the teams interested in Robert Covington. Again, I think everybody's interested in Robert Covington. I also read, though, about the Bucks. If they make a trade, it will be a very low-risk move because, and for good reason, they're, 41-6 right now? 41-7?
They have their core.
They're the best team in the NBA right now. Now, are they willing to add a piece maybe to their bench to help in the playoffs? Certainly, but they don't want to mess up their chemistry right now. They are absolutely on fire. They've been the most consistent team in the NBA.
Casey Wood, who I am very certain is watching on both Facebook and YouTube right now. Shout out, Casey.
Overachiever. We love it.
Our Magic fan here. Do you hear any Orlando Magic trade rumors or Aaron Gordon trade rumors out there?
It's been pretty quiet around Orlando. They're kind of in a tricky spot because they have now entered the place you don't want to be in the NBA. NBA purgatory, where they brought back Vucevic because if you let him go, you're kind of irrelevant, but you're kind of irrelevant anyway. I don't know what you do if you're a team like Orlando because you need to fill seats in that arena. You trade away your good players, you're not going to win at all. People are going to stop coming. There's stuff to do in Orlando outside of going to Magic games. I have not heard a lot, though, Casey. It's been pretty quiet around Orlando.
Technically the 8th seed with a 7-game under 500
I mean, that's about where last year they went. I think they were 2 games above 500, made the playoffs. They're kind of stuck in the middle of the NBA, which is not where you want to be.
Now, it is almost Valentine's Day, so we'll tell you guys again, do not forget you will end up in the doghouse. That's not a good sign. So if you have a girlfriend, a wife, or even just a mother, head over to ProFlowers. It's chatsports.com/flowers. That gets you 15% off. That's chatsports.com/flowers. 15% off all flowers and gifts.
The Tom strategy is forget the flowers. Let's buy some sweets, and I can benefit as well. That is the Tom strategy. They got cookies, they got brownies, they got all kinds of stuff. Chatsports.com/flowers. 15% off all of these gifts. And hey, you can order today, and if you're thinking, oh, it's way too early, no. They're going to ship on Valentine's Day, so you can get it out of the way. That way you don't have to worry about it here in about 10 days or so.
Shout out Eric Burton, who says some dog houses are nice. Not these particular ones. Definitely make sure you get your gifts now. It's chatsports.com/flowers. That's in the comments. That's in the description as well. Kevin Otto, a Bengals fan, wants to know about the Detroit Pistons and where does Andre Drummond end up?
I think he stays at this point. The chatter around Drummond's quieted up. Atlanta was interested for a while. They've backed off. They've moved on to other centers. They're interested in Capela, Steven Adams, and a couple of other guys now. For some reason, it seems like the Pistons are being really stubborn, which is very strange because he's set for free agency. Now, he has a player option, so he could opt in next year, which is a possibility. I think it's $27-28 million, so it's quite a bit. But if he walks, you get nothing. I'd rather sell for 75 cents on the dollar on an expiring player when you're going nowhere anytime soon. Blake Griffin's hurt. You're not a winning team right now. I think he stays in Detroit, but I also think that's a mistake from the Pistons.
Again, keep using hashtag NBA here to get your questions on the show, as so many of you guys are doing right now. Drummond is an interesting future piece for the Pistons because I don't know where he ends up.
Yeah, and the problem with him, we've talked about Clint Capela some, is unlike Capela, he does get a little reckless with his game. He'll shoot occasional three-point shooters. He's not a three-point shooter. So I think the problem is they're not finding the trade packages that they would like to get in Detroit.